In the small village of Kwando, a child named Nia is born under the shade of an ancient baobab tree. Her skin is a deep, rich brown, and her eyes shimmer with the light of the morning sun. The villagers believe she is blessed by the spirits of the ancestors. Her mother, Amani, a strong woman with tightly coiled black hair wrapped in colorful beads, cradles Nia in her arms as the village gathers to witness the birth. As Nia grows, the village elders gather to give her a blessing. The elders, old men and women with wrinkled faces and gray braided hair, sit in a circle. They wear robes made of woven kente cloth and necklaces of cowrie shells. Nia is brought before them, her small frame trembling with excitement. The lead elder, Baba Kofi, places his hand on her head and speaks of a great journey Nia will undertake when she comes of age, a journey to find the heart of the baobab. As the years pass, Nia trains under her father, Okoye, a master hunter. Okoye is tall and muscular, his skin a deep ebony, his short hair shaved close to his scalp. He teaches Nia the ways of the forest, how to track animals, and how to move silently through the underbrush. Nia, now a teenager, is nimble and quick, with her hair in tight braids adorned with colorful beads. Her eyes are sharp, reflecting her father's intense training. One night, Nia dreams of the baobab tree speaking to her. In the dream, the tree is enormous, its trunk stretching high into the sky. Its bark is rough and ancient, and its branches are like arms reaching out to her. The voice of the baobab is deep and wise, telling her that the time has come to begin her journey. When she wakes, she knows she must leave the village to find the heart of the baobab. Nia sets off on her journey, leaving behind her village and traveling deep into the wilderness. She walks through savannas, deserts, and forests, encountering wild animals and harsh elements. Along the way, she meets travelers from distant lands, each with their own stories and advice. Nia grows stronger with every step, her skin darkened further by the sun, and her heart filled with determination. Nia comes upon a sacred cave said to be the resting place of the ancestors. The walls are covered in ancient paintings and carvings depicting stories of past heroes. Nia enters the cave cautiously, her heart racing as she feels the presence of her ancestors. As she ventures deeper, she is met by an ethereal figure, the spirit of her great-grandmother, who guides her to the next phase of her journey. Nia reaches a great river, known as the River of Wisdom. Its waters are said to hold the knowledge of the world, and those who drink from it gain clarity and insight. The river is wide and shimmering, with crystal-clear waters that reflect the sky. Nia kneels at its edge, cupping the water in her hands and drinking deeply. As she does, visions of the future flood her mind, and she gains new understanding of her destiny. After weeks of traveling, Nia finally reaches the heart of the baobab, a massive tree unlike any other. Its trunk is wider than 10 men standing shoulder to shoulder, and its branches stretch into the heavens. At the base of the tree, Nia finds a glowing stone, the heart of the baobab. As she touches it, she feels a surge of energy and connection to her ancestors and the land. She realizes that the journey was not just about finding the stone, but about discovering her inner strength and purpose. Nia returns to her village, now a young woman transformed by her journey. The villagers welcome her back with open arms, and the elders acknowledge her as the new leader of the village. Nia stands before the baobab tree in the center of the village, the same tree she was born under, and vows to protect the land and its people just as the ancestors had done before her. After her return, the village prepares for the Festival of Ancestors, an annual celebration honoring those who came before them. Nia, as the new leader, has the honor of leading the ceremony. The villagers don bright traditional garments, and the night is filled with drumming, dancing, and storytelling. Nia lights the sacred flame under the baobab tree, inviting the spirits of the ancestors to join in the celebration. During the festival, Nia is visited by the spirit of her great-grandmother once again. This time, the spirit brings a warning. A drought is coming and the village must prepare. Nia listens intently, understanding that her new role comes with great responsibility. She must find a way to ensure the survival of her people through the harsh season ahead. Nia calls a meeting of the village elders to discuss the drought. The elders gather in the village's meeting hut, a large structure made of wood and thatch. The atmosphere is tense as they debate the best course of action. Some suggest migrating to a nearby river, while others argue for rationing the village's water supply. Nia listens carefully, understanding that the final decision rests on her shoulders. Nia decides to send a group of scouts to search for new water sources.
She leads the group herself, traveling beyond the boundaries of the village to explore distant rivers and hidden springs. The journey is perilous, filled with long days under the scorching sun and encounters with wild animals. Yet Nia remains determined, knowing her people's survival depends on her success. After days of searching, Nia and her group discover a hidden spring deep within a canyon. The water is cool and clear, surrounded by lush green plants in stark contrast to the dry landscape. Overwhelmed with relief, Nia and her companions drink deeply from the spring. They mark the location and prepare to bring news of their discovery back to the village. Nia and her group race back to the village with news of the hidden spring. However, their return journey is not without challenges. A massive storm brews on the horizon, and the group must seek shelter in a cave to wait out the dangerous winds and rain. Nia's leadership is tested once again as she keeps her companions safe and focused during the storm. Nia and her group finally return to the village with news of the spring. The villagers are overjoyed and preparations are made to transport water from the spring to the village. Nia's leadership is praised, and the elders acknowledge that she has truly stepped into her role as protector of the village. The village works together to secure their water supply for the coming drought. As the drought begins, illness strikes the village. Nia seeks out the village healer, Mama Zara, a wise old woman with long gray braids and gentle hands. Mama Zara uses traditional herbs and medicines to heal the sick, but she warns Nia that the drought may worsen the situation. Nia spends time learning from the healer, understanding that healing is not only physical but spiritual as well. The drought intensifies, and the villagers struggle to ration their water. The crops wither, and the once bustling village grows quieter with each passing day. Nia feels the weight of her responsibility pressing down on her, but she continues to lead with strength and hope. She organizes work teams to collect water from the hidden spring, ensuring that no one goes thirsty. In a final effort to end the drought, the village elders decide to hold a rain ceremony. Nia leads the ceremony, invoking the spirits of the ancestors and the elements. The villagers dance and sing, their voices rising to the heavens as they pray for rain. The ceremony is intense, filled with emotion, as the entire village comes together to call upon the forces of nature. Just as hope begins to fade, the sky opens up and rain begins to fall. The village erupts in joy as the long-awaited rain soaks the earth. The baobab tree, once dry and weary, begins to flourish again. Nia stands under the rain, her face turned to the sky, knowing that the spirits have heard their call. The villagers celebrate, dancing in the rain and giving thanks to the ancestors. The village flourishes once more after the rain, with crops growing and life returning to the land. Nia reflects on her journey from a young girl uncertain of her path to the strong, confident leader she has become. The baobab tree, now vibrant and green again, stands as a symbol of the village's resilience. The elders commend Nia's wisdom and strength, and the villagers continue to look to her for guidance. One morning, a mysterious stranger arrives at the village gates. He is an old man with a tall, thin frame, his skin weathered from travel, and his hair long and white. He carries a staff adorned with symbols of distant lands. The villagers are wary, but Nia senses that he brings important news. The man tells them of a great conflict brewing in the east, one that could soon reach Kwando. The stranger tells Nia the story of two neighboring kingdoms that have been at war for generations. The conflict has spread across the land, causing famine and suffering. Nia realizes that if this war reaches Kwando, her village may not survive. She calls a council to discuss how they can protect themselves and avoid being drawn into the conflict. The villagers are divided, some wanting to fight and others wanting to remain neutral. After days of deliberation, Nia makes the difficult decision to seek out the two warring kingdoms and attempt to broker peace. She knows it is a dangerous mission, but if successful, it could protect her village and bring harmony to the land. The elders bless her journey, and the villagers prepare her with supplies. Nia sets off on her new quest, accompanied by a few of her most trusted companions. Nia and her companions travel eastward, crossing vast deserts known as the Land of the Red Sands. The journey is grueling, with harsh winds and intense heat bearing down on them. Along the way, they encounter nomadic tribes who live in the desert. Nia listens to their stories and learns about the deeper causes of the war between the two kingdoms. She begins to understand that the conflict is not as simple as she thought. Nia and her companions reach the first kingdom, Ashanti, a once great city now ravaged by war. The grand palaces are crumbling and the streets are filled with weary soldiers and desperate citizens. Naya seeks an audience with King Ayodele, the ruler of Ashanti. She offers him a chance for peace, but the king is proud and distrustful. He agrees to let her speak, but only if she proves her loyalty by completing a dangerous task for him. King Ayodele tasks Nia with retrieving a sacred artifact that has been lost in the Ashanti desert. The artifact is said to hold great power, and many have died trying to find it. Naya accepts the challenge, knowing that her success could be the key to peace. She and her companions set out once again, venturing deep into dangerous and unexplored lands. Along the way, they face treacherous terrain and ancient traps set to protect the artifact. Nia and her companions find the ancient Temple of Winds, where the sacred artifact is hidden. The temple is carved into the side of a mountain with intricate symbols and statues lining its entrance. Inside, they face deadly traps, puzzles, and illusions meant to keep intruders out. Nia's quick thinking and bravery help her navigate the challenges, and she finally reaches the chamber where the artifact lies. But she is not alone. Others seek the artifact for darker purposes. As Nia reaches for the artifact, a rival group of mercenaries arrives, intent on taking it for themselves. A fierce battle ensues within the temple, with Nia and her companions fighting to protect the artifact. Nia's skills, honed from years of training, shine as she defends her team. In the end, she claims the artifact, but not without great sacrifice. One of her companions is gravely wounded, and they must flee before more enemies arrive. After escaping the temple, Naya returns the sacred artifact to King Ayodele. The king is impressed by her success and agrees to consider her offer of peace. However, the cost of victory weighs heavily on Nia. Her wounded companion's condition worsens, and Nia begins to question whether the pursuit of peace is worth the personal losses she has endured. As she reflects on her journey, she knows the hardest part is yet to come, convincing the rival kingdom to agree to peace. Nia sets out on the final leg of her journey to broker peace between the two kingdoms. With the sacred artifact in hand, she travels to the kingdom of Zamani, where the fierce Queen Zara reigns. Queen Zara is known for her tactical brilliance and fierce pride. Nia must persuade her that peace with Ashanti is in both kingdoms' best interest, despite years of bloodshed. Nia speaks of the suffering she has seen, the cost of war, and the need for unity against the growing threats beyond their lands. The queen listens intently, testing Nia's resolve with probing questions and challenges. In a final test of trust, Nia offers the sacred artifact as a symbol of goodwill between the two nations. After much deliberation, Queen Zara, moved by Nia's wisdom and courage, agrees to meet with King Ayodele to discuss peace. A fragile truce is established, and Nia returns to her village of Kwando, triumphant but forever changed by the journey. She knows that the future remains uncertain, but for now, her people can live in peace. The baobab tree stands as a testament to her strength, resilience, and the enduring power of hope. Hope you liked this story. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.